Welcome to Internet Search. This is specifically for City and Guilds exams. There is a separate video for Pearson's. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you where to get the mock material and to show you what the exam will look like, the online exam. So we're going to use a Google search and type in City and Guilds Functional Skills ICT and come down and click on this one. Now you're going to get this screen up. Basically, we're just going to leave it on this tab because this is for online exams. This is for paper-based. We can talk about that later if you need some more material resources to practice with. So we're going to stay on this tab. I'm going to scroll down. You're going to select your functional skill level, depending whether you're level 1 or level 2. And then you're going to come down past the maths online mock papers, the English online mock papers. Don't forget, this is all legacy. This is the old exam format. And you're going to click on sample 1. Now this is what the exam will look like exactly for City and Guilds. So the first screen that comes up is one that asks for your key code, and you'll be given this on the day, so there's no need to worry about this. Just leave that as it is and say OK. This is for the mock exam. You then get this page in the mock and in your real exam. Now, make sure, it's imperative, make sure that this is you. It will have all your personal details on here. Just make sure it's your date of birth, your full name, and you are sitting the right exam. We have had people with similar surnames and someone sat someone else's. Sounds a bit like a oops, but it's a massive faux pas. Please make sure your date of birth and everything's correct. So we're going to check this box and say confirm. And the exam starts with an introduction. So once it loads, so here we go. It's just going to give you an introduction about the exam. So you can move between questions by using the next button and the back button when you want to go between. Or by using the numbers on the left-hand side of the screen to navigate through the exam. You can flag a question to return to it later by pressing the flag button, which will appear when the exam starts. So when you press the flag button, it puts a flag next to the question that you're unsure about, so you know where to go back to. The following page will show you how to download files you need during your assessment and how to upload your completed work. So it says here you have 15 minutes to read through this tutorial before the exam starts. We can see the exam is 2 hours long and it hasn't started because you're just reading the rhetoric. So let's just go next. This may pop up in your exam, so if it does, just make sure you scroll up and down the page so you've got all the information. So in this one, this example task 4, you need to prepare a letter inviting an equipment supplier to a meeting. Download the files containing the company logo and the text of the letter. And it's basically telling you what to do inside the letter. Now you'll have a couple of green icons on your screen. One should be the information you require. So it might be images, it might be the letter that needs amending, and things like that. The other one that may appear will be a document where you're going to possibly print screen everything into this document. So this is the possibly one that we work on. This will be the one that you may have to print screen into. Now if it's Excel or PowerPoint, you'll be saving the software as it is into a folder. This is the upload arrow, which does appear on some of the criteria, on some of the questions, where you'll be uploading your evidence to the assessor. Now, we can't use it fully in a mock exam because it's not linked to any assessor, but we can talk through it as we go along. The next page will show us more about it. And there we go. So when you've completed a task and you click on the blue arrow, just get rid of this, you click on the blue arrow, this box will appear. Now it won't in the mock, but it will in the real exam. And all you do then is you go and upload the data that you've completed. So if you've completed a letter, you'll go and find it in the folder that you've saved it in. You will attach it back to here and it will appear here. Once that's appeared and everything's okay and you're happy, then you will just close the box. What happens then is the evidence is hovering in hyperspace until you end the exam, and then it shoots off to the assessor. Just a few more things. So just to confirm, it's 2 hours long. You can use a dictionary and a calculator. Not required, but they are there for you. Definitely read through each task carefully. The maximum marks available are shown on each task, which is quite interesting. And where necessary, download and save the source files and upload, please. We've had a few students that have forgot to upload their evidence, and all that hard work has gone to waste. So let's start the exam and look at internet search. The first screen that will appear will be this one. So it'll tell you all about what you're being asked to do. So in theory, you're an administrator and you've been asked to do some tasks, but it will always ask you to create a folder. So create this folder wherever you want, on the desktop, in documents, or in if you have access to your student drive, but create it on a desktop or create it on a folder. You will be logged onto the machine via the assessor, so you won't be able to see any of your historic folders or files, so you shouldn't be able to mix anything up. Just make sure you name the folder appropriately. For instance, this one could be called Green Meadow School, so in 6 months' time you will know where to go back and find it. So we can see the flag key has appeared here, so if I was unsure about this question, I could click the flag key and it will put a flag next to it, so I know where to come back to. When I've completed that and I'm happy to move on, I can unclick the flag key. It's hard to say. So the internet search for City and Guilds exam looks like this. It's animated. Not much to say about that, but it's nice and easy, isn't it? So all you've got to do is put the criteria search in here and just make sure you include all the relevant details. So we can see here you need to find an example of a school lunch menu from the UK. Now some people forget to put UK and just put school lunch menu. It'll look worldwide for that. Now I know in real life you would narrow it down and find it, but if you miss off the UK, you will be penalised. So something like that, school lunch menus in the UK, will be fine. And when you're happy with that, you click next. Please stay away from this button until you are finished. Do not go anywhere near that until you're finished, please. We can see the mark scheme for this is 1 mark and the progress is 2% because we've just started. So we're on to the next one. Now this is the web addresses where you can select a website from your initial engine search. Again, it's animated, but again, it's simplistic and easy to access. Do not use anything that's AD. That's an advert, so don't select anything that's labeled AD, red AD. So you're choosing one of these websites. Now we were looking for school lunch menus, but they're all school, so we just need to narrow it down even further. This one's looking at holiday dates and term dates, and this one's looking at school directory, so specifically where schools are. This is the one we want, school lunch, so we just click it and say next. The next part contained in the internet search will be some, you're required to look at a web page or a document and select some data and copy it into an evidence document, and that'll be the end of the internet search. So here we can see download. Search is giving you an up-to-date school lunch menu, and they want you to download and view the page and paste the non-meat menu for the week only into, so anything that's bold, please, it's there for a reason, into the evidence document. Upload your completed evidence document when completed. So we can see down here we have the menu, the icon for the menu, and we have an evidence document. So I'm going to open up the evidence document first. It's opened here. I'm going to open it so I can see it. Just bear with me, it's come on to my second page. I'll just bring it over. Now if the yellow bar appears, please just enable the editing, because sometimes it will affect anything that you've saved, might not saved appropriately. So this is the evidence document. I'm going to keep hold of that for now. I'm going to go back to my page and I'm going to open the menu. Now it's asked me to cut and paste or copy the non-meat menu. So don't make the mistake of vegetables and dessert not being meat. So you take everything, just specifically, literally as it reads. It says non-meat, so it just wants this data. Now some of you may highlight and copy this into your document. And if you don't use the shortcut keys, if you're using the mouse and you hover on these, you can see the different formats that it gives you. Now this is fine, you just need to make it look more presentable, more professional. So I know that macaroni cheese was on a Monday, and the corn burger on a Tuesday. You can see where I'm going with this. It's going to get a bit long-winded because I'm having to amend everything. So a quicker way of doing this is, not sure if you've used it before, I'm going to use a snipping tool. So I'm going to come down to my search bar. I'm going to type in snip. Now there's two of them. This is the updated version, snip and sketch. This is the older version, both similar process. So I'm just going to click on snipping tool. Again, it's gone onto my other screen, if you just bear with me, and this will appear. So I'm going to click new, and I can see my cursor's changed to a cross. So I'm just going to choose the non-meat menu, select, put it in the top left hand corner, and what it does, it takes a print screen. So I don't need to do anything else with that. It's took the print screen. I can then paste this into my document. I'm just going to come down one line. I can now paste that into my document, and it pastes the exact format. It's fabulous. You can go back and get the days of the week and put that above it. And that would be everything that you need for that question. So if we go back and look at the question, and then you're going to upload your evidence. So if we come to my evidence, I'm now going to save this file. Now, because it's the first time, I could save it because it's the first time I've opened it, and it will ask me where I want to save it. So better safe than sorry. If you save as, you can copy this and put it in somewhere. So browse, and you're going to look for somewhere you want to put it. So I'm going to put it on my desktop, and I'm going to rename it to something appropriate. I'm going to call it School Lunch Menu, and I'm going to put it in on my desktop. We can see when we go back, I've renamed the file, which is appropriate. I can now close this because the file is saved. I can now upload it. Now you can see the box is a lot smaller than the mock exam. However, in the real exam, it's a lot larger. If you go back to the first explanation, you can see what I was on about. You would browse, go and find the document from your folder, put it in the top, and when you're happy, click close, and then you would move on. So the next video I'm going to talk about will be to do with emails. So look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you very much.